But for me personally, once I got to that level where I was starting to get my basics down, that was where I was like, I'm so excited to go out and get my own subject matters. And some of the first things that I was most excited about painting was when I would go on these volunteer trips to built a orphanage in Mexico and volunteered at a refugee camp for El Salvador and Guatemalan refugees in Texas, and then in South Dakota, living with a family on the Navajo, on the Lakota reservation, those sorts of things. And then as soon as I started to travel, it was like art was an excuse to go to these places and discover things, and then to put them into my paintings, to share them with other people, my viewpoint, but what I've learned from those people. And I feel like if it doesn't even have to be traveling far, I mean, just people that we meet around here, down the street from us, painting all of these people, or in your yard, animals that you see, or your own animals, or your own family. Those, I think, are the more important subject matters to paint, not just that, oh, this is a beautiful photograph that somebody else took. That personal experience, I think, is what art is about. I think it's what writing is about. When I first started writing in school, so many, the really good writers there were writing things that were their own experiences. And I had one of my short stories published when I was taking writing classes at Columbia College in an anthology book. And because it was a personal experience of myself. And so those are what's going to be valued more than your technique or anything. You need to get your technique, just like you need to get your writing skills up to tell your story. But making it personal, something that matters to you, I think is the #1 thing that all artists need to think about. And I find it sad sometimes when I'll go out with young artists and they'll be like, look at that, isn't that cool? Some old car, whatever it is. It might not be something interesting to me, but it is to them. And I'll say, well, you should paint that. And they're like, oh, but that's not really a subject that galleries are looking for. And it's like, you can't talk yourself out of that, because if it's something you're passionate about, it will strike a chord in people. And that's something I think that is hard to teach. We tend to just on Patreon mostly we'll talk about the inspirations that we have for things, but it's hard because everybody will have their own inspiration. And technical things are easier to teach because we can all agree on, what the values are and stuff. But anyways, I'm talking too much, but that's the most important thing to me.
You made some very good points.